Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Force Awakens First Order Snowtrooper Officer from Hasbro. Now this figure is a Toys R Us exclusive. It comes packaged in the same style of window box packaging we've seen with the other Force Awakens Black Series figures. You've got the black box with the red highlights, the red background. You've got the Star Wars The Black Series logo up at the top and the figure clearly displayed. And then down below you have an image of the character and the name of the character in multiple languages. Now I don't have it on mine, but because this is a Toys R Us exclusive, you can also expect to see that kind of silver circular sticker here on the window saying it's a Toys R Us exclusive. On the side we just have the red paneling like we see with most of the figures. However, there is no numbering for this figure. I guess because it is an exclusive they didn't number it. And you also have the name again in multiple languages. And then on the back we again have the Star Wars Black Series logo up at the top, the name of the character, a brief bio in multiple languages, and another image of the character. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now the figure comes with two accessories. It comes with a blaster rifle, and this is a very similar looking rifle to the one that comes with the regular First Order Stormtrooper. Same color scheme overall, black and white. You got the silver highlights on the scope. A little bit different color scheme. You got the black handle on the Snowtrooper rifle, and the handle's white on the regular Stormtrooper rifle. But the biggest difference really is just you've got this extra back piece on the rifle, which makes it a little longer. So that's the main difference between the two. The figure also comes with a backpack that's removable. It just plugs into the hole in the back of the figure, and it's basically just white with some black and gray highlights on it. And it fits tightly on the back of the figure. Now, being this is a Toys R Us exclusive, this does have the shoulder pad, the red shoulder pad on it, which basically makes him an officer. Otherwise, this figure is exactly the same. In fact, if you want, you can actually just pop the head off. The shoulder piece just fits around the ball joint on the head, and so you can take it off, and you basically just have a regular Snowtrooper if you wanted to. Now, we will get a regular Snowtrooper released in the regular line at regular retail. It should be released in wave 3 or 4, I think. So otherwise, the paint applications on this figure are basic but solid. It's an all-white figure with just some black highlights. You've got the black striping on his helmet, and you've got it at the side here, and you got the little silver pieces on the front of his mask, I guess for breathing out of. You've got the eyepiece, which is painted black up here in the helmet, and you've got this like weird writing on the figure on his chest. Now this is movie accurate. I don't know what the significance of these markings are, but you do see that in the images of these characters. And you've got some sculpting for the controls here on his chest. Basically a lot of the figure's done with that kind of shiny white plastic to give it that armorized look. Here on his shoulder pads and his chest piece and his helmet and everything. You've got some black markings on his shoulder pads. And then just like with the original Snowtroopers from Empire Strikes Back, they've got the skirt pieces, and that's done with just kind of the vinyl material. It is attached to the belt of the figure, and you've got some pouches and stuff on the belt. It is a separate piece from the figure, but the skirt is not removable. At least it's not really meant to be removable. You could maybe pull it down and off if you really wanted to, but it's not really meant to be removable. And you got the black for the belt on the skirt piece as well. And then you've got some nice sculpting on the side here, and then on the pants, you know, they've definitely made it looks like the pants have got a lot of padding on it to keep him warm. And you've got the pants that come down over his boots, I guess to keep snow out of his shoes. And you've got some black markings on his lower leg here again. So overall, again, like I said, very true to what we see from, or at least what I've seen of the images of these characters from the movie. So seems like a very accurate looking figure. Simple paint applications. It's a very clean looking figure, no washwork for dirt or anything like that. So again, a very clean looking figure. So the figure stands just about 6 inches, maybe a hair shorter than 6 inches, about the same height as the TIE Fighter pilot, and maybe the regular First Order Stormtroopers are a hair taller. but for the most part they're all about the same height. Articulation on this figure is pretty good, though it is a little bit limited with the legs with the skirt piece. The head's on a ball joint so he can look left and right. Not really much in the way of up or down movement with this one. Arms are attached at the shoulder with your standard ball hinge joint. Now the shoulder pad limits a little bit of the rotation with this arm, but you can get the arm out good. And you know, like I said, with that arm, with the shoulder pad on, you can't really rotate. The other arm you can rotate fine. And of course, if you really wanted to, you can remove that shoulder pad. He's got single hinged elbow. He's got the swivel at the elbow, and he can bend his elbow about that much. So not too bad. He's got the swivel at the hands, and he does have hinges on the hands, so he's got the up and down movement with the hands. He's got a midsection joint, so he's got rotation there. Not really any crunch with the way the chest piece comes down over the joint, so it limits, you know, the crunch movement, and you can't really look back either, especially with the backpack on. Now the legs are attached with ball joints, but again, because of the skirt piece, you know, you can't really do the splits very much. That's about as much as you can do the splits. You can get the leg forward good, but you can't really do the leg back very much, again, because of the skirt piece. You've got a thigh swivel. You've got a double jointed knee, so good bending at the knee. And then they do technically have ankle pivots, but because of the way the pants are sculpted and come down over the joints, it does limit. So you can rotate the ankles, and you can pivot them a little bit, but again, they're somewhat limited by the way the pants are sculpted. And then you've got 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. I think it's a good representation of how these guys will look in the new movie. Now, I do prefer the older look for the Snowtrooper over the new look. That's not really any fault of the figure. I just like the older design with the older mask and everything. I do hope that Hasbro eventually makes the original Snowtroopers in 6-inch form, but as it is, this is a nice looking figure and a good representation of how these guys will look in the new movie. Definitely more sleeker and a little more modern looking than the older Snowtrooper. So this figure, the Toys R Us exclusive version, is out now, the one with the shoulder pad. We will get a regular non-shoulder pad version released in the line in wave 3 or 4. Of course, if you don't want to wait for that, you can always just remove the shoulder pad off of this figure and you essentially have the regular Snowtrooper. We'll have a full gallery of images up at JediInsider.com. There's a link in the description below for that. And as always, you know, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.